Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. Email me at tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing the FP Journe Chronometre A Resonance, sometimes known as the Resonance 4 or the 1224. This was a 2019 model year, single year special edition, and the example you see here is 40 millimeters in platinum. Now the timepiece is easy to wear, as above all, it's beautifully proportioned. 40 millimeters in diameter by 8.9 millimeters thick. The watch is slender and graceful, with a 48 millimeter lug-to-lug span and a spacing of 20 millimeters between the lug horns. Let's throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Comfortable, flat, flush, and easy to wear underneath any cuff thanks to the low profile and the domed bezel. It's a handsome, broad, beautifully proportioned piece on the wrist that's wearable on a wrist as small as, in my estimation, 13.5 centimeters circumference. With a white gold dial, a platinum case, and a solid rose gold movement, it is substantial, and you do feel the heft of the watch, as there's a lot of material inside and out, all of it of a precious nature. The timepiece, hardware and software, is well equipped. You can see there are large rectangular scale alligator leather coupled with small round scale alligator leather, the two combining to make a more durable strap, as gator on both sides is more resilient and longer lasting than gator on the top and calfskin on the bottom. Note the use of pull tab spring bars, this to easily remove the strap without resort to tools, no risking the finish of those lugs, and Journe equips the watch with a simple high polish pin buckle for easy on the fly adjustments. The timepiece is well standard, as it features the FP Journe case design that we've seen many times, with a domed bezel and a lip abutting from the bezel and the case back, creating a boundary that defines the mid-case, all polished with integrated lug profiles. You can see it is graceful and fluid, and the timepiece is slender and, one might even say, a little bit deceptive in that it looks bigger than it is because of the aspect ratio being so broad and flat. You have a reset trigger, which is a flyback control down at 4 o'clock. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then the bullhead style crown up at 12 o'clock is used for winding both barrels, both movements, and setting both dials. The dials can be set independently, but the one at 9 o'clock, or what would conventionally be 9 o'clock, moves in one circuit per day. So this is a 24-hour hand that moves at half speed. That is generally the time zone where you're not. If you want to use it as a travel watch, that's your reference time or your home time. And then your local time is the 12-hour dial that moves in 2 sweeps per 24 hours. You also have an unusual blue printing that was exclusive to this model. Generally, these would be black printed on silver white. Here they were blue printed because this is a special piece. You can see there is the characteristic blue Journe biomorphic hand for the power reserve, and in the fashion of vintage marine chronometers, the power reserve indicator works backward. You can see as I wind the watch, the indicator progresses towards 0 because marine chronometers needed to be wound at the same time each day. So you didn't need to know how much running time they had left. You need to know how long since the last winding, and always wind at 24 hours since the winding. So when this watch is at 0, that's 0 hours since it was wound. 42-hour manual wind power reserve times 2. The case back. Okay, $14.99. The caliper is 14 French lean in diameter, and work started on the original version in 1999. It's the third version, meaning you have all of the modern refinements. All rose gold bridges and plates, adding substantially to the opulence as well as the weight of the watch. You can see 2 separate barrels underneath the barrel bridge, 2 separate drivetrains, 2 separate Swiss lever escapements, and then 2 separate balance and hairspring assemblies. There is no physical link between them, but FP Journe did research into resonance clocks as built by Janvier, and while you will see that if you put pendulum clocks or metronomes in proximity, they will synchronize, the phenomenon had never been leveraged in a wristwatch until 2000. FP Journe created the first, and as parasitic losses or frictional emanations from the escapements radiate out, they actually cause these two balances in proximity to self-synchronize, with the result that once they've been adjusted in 6 positions to keep proper time, after 7 to 10 minutes of operation, the resonance phenomenon will couple them together. So if one, by means of position or shock on the wrist, runs faster than the other or slower than the other balance, because of the resonance effect, will effectively resynchronize it and keep the two running well. It's a mutually reinforcing virtuous cycle of accuracy. But because of the 7 to 10 minute time period during which the resonance has not taken full purchase, the seconds hands may not be in sync, which is an aesthetic issue. So you pull the crown down at 4 o'clock, and there's a flyback like a chronograph that resets and restarts them. Finally, this 40 joule movement, being 6 position adjusted, is adjusted in 1 position more than a standard COSC chronometer. And as you can see, there are handsome finishings, including mirrored anglage in the jewel sinks, screw sinks, as well as the edges of the bridges, linear Côte de Genève, engine-turned perlage across the base plate, and satin finish on all of the wheels. Black polished screws, as you can see as I move the watch through the light, and all of this water-resistant down to 30 meters, I should say. This is the single-year 2019 FP Journe Chronometre A Resonance, also known as the Res 4 or the 1224. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.